Welcome to Deadman's Tales. I'm your host, Deadman. Today, we're looking at a story from r/nosleep. Story title: You will feel something behind you. Don't look back. I learned this when I was a kid. Whenever I was outside after sundown, I would start to feel something approaching, closer and closer. With each passing moment after dark, the feeling would get stronger. It would start out as a feeling of someone or something watching you. Then the feeling would progress into something following you. Then the feeling of something right behind you. Then I would go home, but the feeling would not go away. I would always feel something lurking in the other room, in my balcony, maybe in my room. I don't know what would happen if I stayed outside after the feeling of something behind me starts creeping. I never stayed outside that long after sundown to learn about that. Sometimes, while in my room, I would feel like something is looking inside through the window, as if something is right outside. I would feel terrified to remove the curtains. I couldn't dare look. When I told what I felt to the elders in my house, they would always warn me firmly. Whenever you have that feeling, don't look back. I never questioned it. I always complied with the rules. Years passed. I moved to another city, and already forgot about this, until recently. I inherited my father's old house after he died. After deciding to sell it, I went there to check the status of the property. It was a long drive from where I lived to my hometown. By the time I reached there, it was already late at night. As soon as I drove inside my old hometown, the feeling of something watching started creeping on me. Even when I was inside the car. A few minutes later, and I felt like I was being stalked. A few more minutes later, and I started feeling like something was in the back seat of the car. I still remember what my mother told me when I was a child. Whatever you do, don't look back. I turned my car mirror to the other side and tried to fight the irresistible urge to just look behind while I was driving at full speed. It was getting worse every second. I started feeling something right behind my neck and shoulder while I was sweating and trying to hold myself from looking behind while the thing came ever closer. Then I reached my old house and parked in front. I rushed inside and locked the door, but I noticed something odd inside. At first, I thought the weird feeling was because of seeing this big house so empty for the first time. I was always with my family back when I was here. Without them, the place looked so empty, and I felt so alone. But I quickly noticed another thing. All the curtains on the windows were removed. Windows were now directly looking outside. I went to my room. Going inside would normally turn this feeling of something approaching into just being watched, but it didn't this time. Maybe because there were no curtains. I am scared to go back outside. There isn't a sign of a single human being around. My phone battery is running low. Something gets closer and closer. I feel like just looking back. Well, that's the end of the story. What do you think it was that was watching and waiting? Thanks again for watching Deadman's Tales.